Hello, folks. Good evening. Good evening. I am here with TheWikifish. Hello.
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 Sure, reporting for duty.
Hey, chat. Hey, Incubus. Hey, Lightning. Hey, C-Synapse. Hey, Paraphage. Hey, CML. Hey, CTD. Hey, Shadowy. Wow.
Sure,
Hello.
reporting for duty.
I haven't seen you around in a while. Hey, Paraphage. Hey, Thago. Hello. First. Yeah, we got some round 4 today. Today is also technically my stream anniversary. Oh, damn it, wrong one. Hang on. Damn, there we go. Today's technically my stream anniversary, in that, but I was a complete idiot and completely forgot about that, so I've got nothing planned for it, really. We've got literally nothing planned for it. So what I might do is after the tournament, I might just carry on streaming some Dark Tide afterwards. TheWikifish, are you here?
I'm very keen for Dark Tide afterwards.
Yay!
Should be a good stream as well.
Yeah.
We're definitely getting some of the participants starting to nudge the boundaries of the rules a little bit.
People are bumping up against the boundaries of the rules.
So last time it was how many fighters they're allowed to have. This time someone's, I think, at 56 out of their allowable 60 safety overrides deployment points.
That's 4 missing. I'm unimpressed. Right. It is about that time. People have grouped up enough. I like to start a little bit early and wait a little bit and just let people trickle in, because people sometimes it takes a while for people to understand what's happening. So I wait a little bit, but after a while we can carry on. And again, I'll put the VOD for this up afterwards on YouTube. I'll put the VOD for this will go up tomorrow on YouTube. I'm an hour early though. Well, technically I'm a day early because I don't usually stream on Thursdays, but that's why we're doing the tournament on Thursdays, because I don't usually stream on Thursdays. Crack all the things while we wait for people to trickle in. How's chat been? How have you been, Wikifizz? Are you feeling better? Hopefully you're feeling better from last week.
Considerably.
Yay! It's a good thing.
Pixie Code, as always, has been an absolute lifesaver, but no, I am much recovered now.
Did it say 8:30 on my schedule for today? It shouldn't have done. No, Thursday it says 7:30 for me on my schedule.
There may have been some shenanigans, particularly with various daylight savings changes.
Yeah, well, the way that my timer's set up so that it should alter to be showing on your whatever time zone I think your PC is set to. So the timing should be right for you wherever you are. It does, or did I misread? Or is the audio distortion on the music intense for you? Anyone else? Yeah, I did the auto thing. I learned how to do auto thing Bobs. I wish you could do it natively within Discord. Is there a way to do that natively within Discord? Because I just have to go to a website to like change the times to Unix time.
And I think everybody's using the same website as well.
I use like Epoch Converter. I just googled for like Linux.
That's the one. Yeah.
Okay, right. Okay, so that's what I use, just because it's, well, again, it doesn't really matter because it's Unix time. It's the same thing everywhere. It's never used to be. No, I think I started doing that 2 weeks ago. I think because of just there was a week where Europe had changed its clocks, the US hadn't changed its clocks, and God knows about the rest of the world. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make it so that my time zones, my clock will change to affect reflect your local stream time. That way, people don't have to do head maths. It's mystery time.
Personally, as an Australian, I absolutely love it. Every time people use it.
I like it. I like it when people use it in general, because it's very useful. It's a very useful thing to do. Again, it's one of those things that I kind of wish was just natively existed within Discord. That'd be kind of cool. It's a bit of a ball ache to go to another website every time to have to do that.
I think it's worse when people try to organize things and they tell me their local time, and then I have to try and work out what time zone there are.
Exactly.
Time zone differences that are coming up.
It's my time. It's like, that requires me knowing where you live and knowing what time zone that's supposed to be in.
So we're getting to the stage where some people are like, oh yeah, we're organizing this in 14 hours from now. It just makes it so much
Yeah,
simpler.
relative time helps, but relative time gets a bit weird. It's like, I'm organizing this in 3 months and 14 hours from now. It's like,
Yep.
that's a bit odd at that point. So yeah, I just do like, I could do the whole thing, like just spit out the whole long date time in regular, but that would break the formatting. So I just like, you know what? All you need is the time. You're clever enough to spot the difference. If you think it's a weird time, just check the date. If you mouse over it, it'll tell you what day it is. I guess it's one of those things that probably shouldn't make a lot of a difference because I am in GMT, so the furthest people are going to get it 12 hours away from me, either way. And that's like probably you are probably one of the New Zealand, I mean,
Yep.
the islands further east of New Zealand, probably they're the only places that will be about 12 hours away.
Yep, on a regular basis.
Yeah, because you're 10 hours away from me, I think. Is it 5:30 for you?
9.5 to 10.5. It gets weird.
Oh yeah, you got like the half an hour time zones, haven't you?
Yeah.
God, half an hour time. That's weird. Half an hour time zones is weird. That's like, I can understand like being 6 o'clock here and being 7 o'clock somewhere else. Being 6 o'clock here and half 6 somewhere else is weird. That's just like, but why is it half an hour away? That just makes it even harder. Oh, it's hard enough as it is. Right, I think we've stalled for long enough. Yeah, that's weird. Why can't you be normal?
So I think this time, we've actually got very, very few fighters. This is possibly the least fighters we've had in any round.
Ooh, okay. Let's see what we got on it. We have our 4 matches of the day are this Pixie Code's Magellan versus Pyrophage's SRA. That's quite a very tall SRA fleet. A huge difference in SRA. I got the notes here. I got as they come along, as they come up, I'll read them up. But I got I got SRA notes and I got some other notes as well, didn't I? I got SRA notes and someone else's notes.
LOA.
LOA, yeah. So SRA and SLA notes. But let's see here. So we got so Pixie Code's Magellan versus Pyrophage's SRA. We have Forest Fighters LOA versus Ruddy Great's Imperium. We have Sea Synapse's Low Tech versus Pure Tilt's Scalar Tech. And we have Pixie Code's High Tech versus Idiopathic's Midline. And those are the 4 matches for today. So we're going to get started from the beginning. Oh, whoops, the whip stayed on. Was it still whipped? Which whip? Whip?
I'm not sure what he's done.
I don't know.
Quite right though. The first match is indeed tall versus wide.
Yeah, this is tall versus quite wide. Right, so let us go ahead and let's see what we got here. So, Pixie Code. Any big changes you want me to talk about here? Because we have the Q class cruiser wasn't here last time. A big phased cruiser. The Pori. What are we still running? We're still running Bone Crushers and Bone Crusher batteries. Flax, solenoid quench guns. The Bastard Sword Corvettes I don't think were there last time. They have the Pyro fleet, right? Tall yards versus White Jellin. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Tall yards versus White Jellin. Yeah, I don't remember the Master Sword Corvettes being there last time. And the Q was there, so that's new. That was not there last time, 100%. I guess the bigger cousin of the Jaegers. What have you got? You have fast missile racks for your fusion bomb launchers, and chase fire anti-fighter missiles, and a heavy fusion cannon that's built in. Fires every second and a half to do 600 damage with additional extra energy damage on armor or hull. Okay. Changing name disconnects you from chat. Probably does. Welcome back, Lightning. Then we have the 3 Jaegers. Adaptive phase coils, ECCM packages, Magellan engine rebuilds, Foxfire rocket launchers, fusion bomb launchers, light fusion torches. 3 graphs. One's hiding behind the edgers. The 3 graphs. 3 SO graphs. The edgers with the jits again, because I don't think these have changed. And then 3 Deckers, and 3 Almershads. No, 2 Almershads and 3 Janses. Heavy fusion clan is basically heavy blaster. Ah, okay.
I'm always very cautious about phase ships. They really need other ships to maneuver around.
Hmm.
And so once you start heading up into destroyers and cruisers, I worry that there's not quite enough meat left on the rest of the fleet.
Well, last time the Jaegers won the battle because they basically snuck behind, did the encirclement, and the enemy AI reacted
Very
to the
true.
encirclement. So that was definitely very required. Not required, but definitely instrumental in getting that attention split, which got Magellan the shame win, basically, from last week.
And fast missile racks is one of those ones that you always watch out for, potentially very impactful.
Mm-hmm. And now we have Pyros. Okay, well, now let's look at the suggestions here. I've got two sets of SRA notes. One is Nemo edition notes, and one is actually Verbose notes. The Nemo edition note is this is the same fleet as last week. I have no idea why you'd think otherwise. I'm not that inattentive. I'll spot 3 Mimirs, thank you very much. And let's see, we have long-range Delphis make their full return to full active. Yeah, I looked. This is weird. This is very, very odd. Assault conversion paladins, PDAC paladins.
All right.
I mostly didn't. Okay, so long-range Delphis return to full complement. So you have the 3 different. No, okay, they're all marksman Delphis. Okay, 3 marksman Delphis. The Varder and all the carriers have been exchanged for 3 Mimir in different outfits. So you have one. We have one over here, the Galaxy Brain Crattle Cruiser running PDAC with paladins and light CPCs. Then we have over here, which doesn't have PDAC, has got a charged cycler, which increases the rate of expended charge regeneration by 14%, running.
That might be critical.
Especially for things like
So
PDACs and the CPCs and things of that nature.
Paladins are a very, very weird choice. They're one of very, very few weapons that can shoot over allies. Incredibly rare. But also, due to their clip size, when the AI runs out of ammo, it treats as if the weapon is disabled, and it tries to back off. So having 3 large weapons, all with clips that can empty their clips quite quickly, we may see it backing off quite a lot. And I'm wondering how much that charge cycler is going to help.
You can try to get back in quickly, I suppose, but still. And the third Mimir, let's do that first as well. Running ITUs, 3 wave pulse cannons, 2 storm blasters, and a multicaz over there, as well as several particle darts and some baragos as well. Okay, so 3 quite different Mimirs. 2 like variations on a theme. Special note: the PD and stable. It's also got UI and stable injector as well. And so we have the 3 Delphis, the 2 Seskis running lightning guns and ion cannons, and a single Enlil running a graviton beam and stilettos. That's just, I don't know, that's there, I think. Mimirs used. Hang on a second. Let's have a look over there. Give it a chat. I don't know, the empty charges active disabled. Apparently so. Mimir I used myself, and even with sometimes AI hands, pretty normal looking Mimir, that last one. Yeah, the last one's what I would expect a Mimir to be looking like. That's a Mimir I would expect to see. Hey Yukimaru, welcome to chat. Needs some hard flux in the fleet. Okay, so that's this. Let's get the first match of round 4 up and running, shall we? Here we go.
So of course, SRA going tall, there is always the risk that they'll be encircled. But SRA, of course, extreme.
Oop. Ricky? 1 second.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, you back. Okay, cool. Making sure you're still around. Yeah, so SRA is still very mobile, is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, they're incredibly nimble. So the big risk of going tall is that you're going to get encircled. But their general nimbleness may actually prevent that.
Okay, incoming Baragos at long range against the Jaegers. The Delphis as well. Okay, incoming fighters getting predictably ripped apart by paladins. I mean, that's what they're designed to do. Okay, incoming first Decker. I think I should be okay. There's 1 Yan's down. I want to see if I can count this Decker down. I want to see if I can count how many misses we get from the Lindhogger lances. I've counted one so far. Okay, that technically a hit. Okay, I won't count that one. Okay, one Mimir has dashed in. This is the combat Mimir, the traditional Mimir, has moved in and is getting overwhelmed and gets taken down very quickly. Very, very quickly. One Mimir down, which is a problem in a tall fleet. Okay, Decker down. Point blank Nidhogger lance. Very well done. Those paladins being able to shoot over the friendly Mimir, very, very helpful indeed. They're backing out there, and so far, Pixie has lost less in terms of DP. Delphi comes down.
Both fleets still have a lot of pressure, still a lot of potential to do a lot of spike damage.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to see what, because something killed the Mimir when it was quite high in health. I think it got like hit with something massive, and I can't remember what it was. Okay, Delphi I think is going to go back because it's turning to face a Jaeger, which is not going to go well for it.
Its engine's out.
The engine's out, yeah, it's spinning as well. Graph, SO has run out. So Delphi, that's the damage Delphi. Oof, there's the fusion bomb launcher. And this is the Mimir who's charging into the well, and unfortunately puts itself in a very bad position because it's not going to get surrounded. It puts itself in a position to be surrounded. Mimir goes down. No sympathetic explosions, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think we are seeing those fast missile racks definitely making a difference.
Yes. Delphi down. We are down to an Enlil and a Mimir. And this is the PDAC Mimir, I think. Yeah, this is the PDAC Mimir. Is it going to kill a Graph? Is it going to be able to kill a Graph, or is it going to die first? It dies first, and then it goes down as well. Oh, there's 2 DP remaining. Is there a Seski alive somewhere? Yes, there is. There's a Seski alive somewhere. There was a Seski alive somewhere. That's unfortunate.
Very fast match.
Very fast match. Well, the Mimir is kind of contributed to that by dashing in and putting themselves in a position to be very easily surrounded. Seski against the world. Seski can win. Seski can solve the entire enemy fleet with a lightning gun and an ion cannon. But yeah, the Mimirs were very strong. They could pop things quite quickly, but they individually charged in and got themselves surrounded. Ideally, they would have hung back and killed the little frigates first. Oh, what are the carriers from the... Is it the Graphs that are carrying ships? I'm very, very fast here.
I don't think so.
No, what are the... Oh, it's the Edgers.
Mm-hmm.
The Edgers, because a lot... Even though they have PDAC, they spent a lot of time focusing down fighters and using up the Paladins' charges shooting down fighters.
Now, those Paladins do have a lot of DPS, particularly for how much OP they cost, but again, you're quite right. A lot of it used on fighters.
Even the PDAC, because the fighter wave comes in first, the PDAC doesn't matter, because the PDAC will still target fighters at a lower priority, but it will still target fighters. So if there was nothing but fighters for them to target, they'd target the fighters first and expend all the charges, wrecking the fighters. Fair, but at that point, you're still waiting for the rest of the things to come in and while you recharge. Typical Mimir AI. To be fair, that is what I've seen Mimir do in the past. Absolutely. A very enjoyable fight, though. I enjoyed that a lot, and it was not a shame. They definitely took out some Magellan ships. That is beep beep. Right now, we have Forest Fighters LOA. We live in a society. Now, what are the changes in the LOA? Let's quickly have a gander, shall we? The LOA changes are: replace the Osmonds with fast little Victorias, remove the Edith, 2 more Shermans, and better PD on them, and then 2 Walshes, because why not? So you still have Breach, a heavy plasma driver Alistairs, 2 of those. The Leon are still here as well, so that's, hang on, it's Siege Cannon, then the Victorias are here with Siege Cannon, so that's 8 Siege Cannons? 1,000 damage. 1,000 damage. 1,000 damage. It's 8 Siege Cannons. 8 Siege Cannons. On here, several Lighthouse PDs as well. and some CAN-MRMs, some pellet guns, and pellet guns there as well. Then we have 3 Shermans running their little, essentially bongos and basically point defense tanks. And we have a couple of Walshes running heavy ACs and some flare guns as well.
Heavy ACs is an interesting choice.
And oh, they have more siege guns, so that's 10 total siege guns I'm counting at this point. 10 total siege guns. So come 5,000 range, 10 shots flying out. And flooded injectors as well, because we can make them a lot faster.
I do like this evolution where all the fleets just start to accrue more and more potential DPS.
A lot of flooded injectors on the frigates as well. And also on the Victoria. Leons are just running ITUs and tandem flux grids and ITUs on the Alistairs. Doubles the effectiveness of lens and capacitors. The chance for the overload as well, which has it really come into play? I can't remember.
Not meaningfully, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it's been a situation where it's like, oh god, that's happened and now we're all screwed. Okay, we have some monograms here and some Earls. Okay, so 4 monograms and 6 Earls. Monodrone combat drones and 6 Earl strike fighters. And on the opposing side, we have the Imperium running a bit wider this week. 2 Karams, 2 elite Karams, in fact, with strike flares, which become basically homemade missiles. We have 3 targeting Stabastos with Sectator support fighters and Arcus autocannons, Imperial rocket pods, photon beam cannon built in, of course, and the targeting package gives them this time boost. 3 Liberators running the Magna Fulmen. There's a repulsor effect, and the Arbalest loader is a gravitic shell. And some sledge guns, and some ER particle cannons.
So that's a lot of support.
Yeah. And Scutum defense drones as well. So that's 3 wings of defense drones, 3 wings of sector to support fighters. The Dictators are running... Wow, really? SO Dictators with PDAC, 2 heavy machine guns, and 3 proximity charge launchers.
Ooh, okay.
I'm just kind of wincing at my screen right now. I was like, what is it? What?
It's definitely going to do something.
What's happening here? What's happening right now? I don't know what's happening right now. I'm scared and confused.
Now proximity charge launchers, I believe, will do friendly damage. Not 100% sure
so
on that,
confused.
but I think they do.
I am so
At that
confused
range.
right now. And of course we have a Dominus running 2 more Scutum wings, ballistas, PDAC heavy machine guns, and siege mortars. Running, of course, the triplex beam cannon is running targeting package, which means its overdrive is maximum firepower. So doubles rate of fire for all the guns. So the siege mortars are running at what? They're running at 60% range of that, so what? Over 1,000. The heavy machine guns are running at nearing 1,000. And the triplex beam cannon hits at about 1,500, give or take. Okay, I'm very curious about these PDAC Dictators.
That is a lot of deployment points and safety overrides.
That is a lot of deployment points. Okay. Let's see, round 2. Dominus is like a helpless babby, no range and plink guns. Well, we'll see what happens. Let's go out. Let's see here. So, why do they do this, I wonder?
LOA's had a bit of a problem being a little bit slow to capture their points.
Yeah.
And I think we might see that again.
Yeah, so the Karams have gotten there already. The Karam is actually going for this for the far point. Here come 3 siege cannon shots. One Karam goes down immediately to siege cannon fire. Because 2 siege cannons will overload it. Here comes the next siege cannon shot. Takes half its hull down in a single shot.
10
Here we go.
siege cannons?
Yeah, 10 siege cannons on the enemy team. God, this thing is hilarious.
Good touch.
Oh my god, that thing's amazing. The dictator's like, I don't care, I want to go in first. Okay. Okay. Oh, one Liberator down, the other Karam has been destroyed. The Dominus is charging in for one of the Leon right now.
It's a very nice LOA battle line.
Yep, the LOA's got a solid battle line. It's exactly what they want. However, will they be able to overdo this? Get their shots in? No, it backs out, unfortunately. One dictator is already... LOA is in a perfect position here. This is exactly what they want to do. Use the range, use the fact all the guns they have pointed forwards, use those siege cannons. Sherman goes down, however. But it's this little tanky ship, it's supposed to do that. That's what it's there for. One Alistair's taking out Sebastos. Running to my brain, remembering words. The Dominus is already taking hull damage.
I think LOA is holding them at range.
Yep. Sherman goes down. Sebastos goes down. First Sebastos goes down. So 2 Alistairs now focusing on 2 Sebastos now. With Leon support. And that Sebastos is getting pummeled by heavy pulse drivers, pellet guns, and the siege cannon whenever it fires. Yeah, they need some support. They need the dictators to get over there and kill these things quickly. I mean, that is hilarious. I do like the dictators actually just charging in there and just dropping as many mines as they can. Liberator goes down. Walsh is taking some damage. Leon goes down. Dominus gets the shot on the Leon off. 1 Sebastos left. That is how we're going to get... It's getting pummeled. And here comes the siege cannon shot. Heavy pulse drivers finish it off, I think. Liberator goes down. Sebastos goes down. We're left with 2 dictators and the Dominus. One dictator's already very low health. Here come the MRMs.
All the points are secure. LOA should start to wrap around.
Yep. Dominus soaking points into the front of that seat, into the front of that Leon. First dictator goes down. Will we kill the Leon first? Those siege mortars, they just move a little bit too slowly for me. Unfortunately, I don't like the speed of those shots. Leon's taking heavy damage there, but it will not go down. Siege cannon's coming. Walsh goes down. I mean, it's around. Oof! Dominus goes down to a siege cannon shot. All that's left is a single Dominator. This engagement went perfectly for LOA. Exactly what they wanted to do happened. They held a perfect line and just started clipping off the edges, whereas Leon's and Victoria's like keeping the dictators and the Dominus busy while the Alistairs just took down the Sebastos.
Did they have any flanking pressure? I don't really feel like they did. Like,
Not a lot. Not as
line,
much.
Never around it.
No, they just beat them up in a straight up fight. It was a straight up fight. They just beat them on head on. That was a really, really fun fight to watch, actually. I'm very happy with how that went down. I like it when a fleet has a strategy in mind and it just works. And it just works. LOA wants a line. They want to be able to line up there and put their long-range guns firing forward, and they did, and it worked for them.
Oh, those siege cannons.
Those siege cannons were so good. I felt really bad for the first Karam there. It's just took 5 siege cannon shots, and as we saw from the second one, it's 2 siege cannons to overload and 2 siege cannon shots to kill. So the first one just died immediately. However, we lost. LOA did lose a single Leon, both their Walshes and 2 of their Shermans. LOA proving this working as intended, yeah. Also, it's a match of working as intended, and then also the enemy you're dealing with. A very mobile fleet is much harder for the LOE to deal with, as we've seen before. But yeah, very, very good. Very happy to see the fight. Very happy. I was very amused by the dictator, so I'm happy, in a good way. So I was like, I wasn't like, this is rubbish. Like, this is, I can definitely see the appeal of rapid fire, rapid fire proximity mines, which did damage.
Strange.
They worked.
They do damage, and even after they've done damage, like they were physically pushing ships away from it.
Yeah.
So it was always able to back out as well.
Yeah, it amused me drastically. So very happy with that one. I'm very happy with that one.
I do like this. These are incredibly quick fights.
Yeah. Again, I'm loving the tournament. I was going to say again, I say it every week, but huge thanks to everyone's involved, because I'm loving the format, which is your responsibility, and I'm loving the fleets, which is the mod makers and the fleet designers' responsibilities. They've been very, very good. It's fantastic to watch the evolution week to week of the same fleet over and over again. I think it's worked out very nicely. Next we have Sea Synapse's low tech versus Pure Tilt's scalar tech. Let's see here. What have you done, Sea Synapse? How are you going to break my brain this week? Call signs, check in. Fine. Oh, God, okay. Do you mind if I don't?
A lot of them was.
Do you mind if I don't? Just mousing over them, you can read. I'll leave it at that.
Hey, hang on. Zero capacitors, zero vents. What's going on here?
Wait, what the fuck?
What's he done?
Running contender cannons, light dual ACs, light ACs, flare guns, but shield shunt, turret gyros, armored weapon mounts, automated repair units, heavy armor, RFCs, insulated engine assemblies, ITUs, and reinforced bulkheads on lashers. Thank you. You've broken my brain.
Everything about this, except for the lack of capacitors, that's gonna mess with the AI.
I'm very confused.
You gotta remember, players love vents. Players live on vents, but the AI lives capacitors.
Yeah, they like capacitors. This confuses the hell out of me. Lashes are not designed to take hits. Excuse me, they've got heavy armor. They've got heavy armor now.
Tanky.
Heavy armor?
For their cost, they're not bad.
I like lashes. So we've got heavy armor, we've got insulated engine assemblies, we've got armored weapon mounts. These are tanky lashers. No shields, no PD. Oh, they've got flare guns. That's the PD they've got here. Kind of.
What?
Yep. So we have
okay. Right.
We have contender. Like there's a kinetic and there's a kinetic aspect and a high explosive impact and flare guns for a PD. So let's see how this works.
Definitely don't underestimate contender cannons. They will put big holes in things.
Yeah, absolutely, positively. Right, and then we'll put in the couple of Moras.
Not an SO Mora. I am disappointed.
No SO Moras. However, we're running a Sabo and a Harpoon pod. We have Thunder Heavy Interceptors, Drake Assault Interceptors, and Talons. They're shield shunting, as they are.
An esoteric mix of fighters.
Yeah.
So hey, what is that? Talons, Thunders, and
the Drake, which is the light devastator cannon.
Okay. All right. Yep.
It's a light fighter-based devastator cannon. Thunder paired with slower speed fighters.
Yeah, Thunder is a bit of a niche choice, but it is going to provide that critical EMP that they're otherwise missing.
The Legion, running expanded missile crews, expanded missile crews, and expanded deck racks, ECCM, shield shunt as well, IPDAI. Okay, running Vulcans, flare guns, triple annihilator rocket pods, double Sabo pods, a Mark 9, and a Devastator cannon. And we're running Perdition bombers, and then Thunder Heavy Interceptors and 2 Talon wings.
Three vents. Three
vents.
What have you done?
Hang on. One vent here. I didn't even check it out. Capacitor 0 vents 1. I was so busy looking down here, I didn't check up there. 1 single vent for the Moras, 3 vents for the Legion. The Onslaught has 36 vents. Okay, fair enough.
Oh, but no capacitors.
No
That
capacitors.
is going to change the AI behavior.
No capacitors. We have running Sabos this time around, single Sabo pods.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
Then we have the Flamer loveliness, the Aegis flat cannons, and machine guns without PD assaults. So these are actual point defense machine guns. It's 5 machine guns and 5 heavy machine guns and 2 light dual machine guns.
Expanded magazines.
If I don't see PDAC at the bottom of it, I know, right? I was like, there must be PDAC in the bottom of this. There has to be. No PDAC. Expanded magazines? Yes, expanded magazines. You need them for the Flamers, don't you?
It helps a lot, yes. Look, he has put resistant flux conduits on everything.
Yeah.
So,
well, not the
as much as
Moras.
the lack of capacitors is...
Not the Moras, not the Legion. Just the Lasher and the Onslaught.
So as much as the lower flux capacity is going to modify the AI behavior, we may see quite a lot of very aggressive active vents.
And let's see, we have here 2 Vindicators with the same build. Yes, 2 Vindicators, running of course the built-in Gungnir, then Squalls, Sabos, Hammers, Flat Cannons, Vulcans, Shield Shunts, RFCs, Automated Repair Units, IPDAI, Insulated Engine Assemblies, because the engines are all over the place at the back there, you definitely need those, and Expanded Missile Racks for more kinetic missile goodness, and 2 Calibers, which were added after I stopped playing. This is this was the new destroyer, wasn't it? The new low-tech destroyer, or the newer low-tech destroyer, I suppose. It's one that have got heavy ballistics. So they're running Gauss cannons, Breach SRMs, and flare guns. They come with they have a damper field and the AAF as well, accelerated ammo feeders, which is only going to do stuff for the Gauss cannon. This
That's got an interesting point. That they're going to be quite resistant to EMP because, of course, armored weapon mounts is going to increase the HP of the weapon mounts. Also, the EMP resistance, the EMP HP.
Yeah, and then the RFCs will lower that by 50% as well. So they're essentially 4 times as strong versus EMP weapons. They're shipwreck weapons. What was the new destroyer that was added? Vanguard, that's the one. Vanguard. I thought the name was weird. It's like the name isn't the Caliber, but it looks very familiar to me. And the automated repair unit, which helps in repair disabled weapons faster as well. Very EMP resistant here. Versus Pure Tilt's Scalar Tech fleet, which I don't think has changed at all.
No, I don't believe so.
The Tress there as usual, the Corsets there as usual. The Sky, I think in the sense that I think now the Skies all have the officer they were supposed to have. Because I think last time the officers were kind of weirded out, where now all the Neko Arcs are all in the Skies, which was the intended thing, I believe. I wonder if they have enough EMP.
Okay.
Yeah, I wonder. Vanguard is a frigate. The Vanguard is a frigate?
No. Is it?
Is it?
I'm stretching my memory.
The Manticore is a destroyer. Right. Okay, right. It's been a while.
Right.
Yep. So, yeah. Do you have EMP here for them to negate? Don't think there's the Sabo EMP, I guess. There's Sabo EMP for them to negate. I don't think there's much else. I would Tachyon Lance EMP, but does it really matter at that point? If you're being hit by a Tachyon Lance, the EMP is not really the biggest problem you've got.
No, I don't think we're going to see too many things disabled through EMP.
Especially, there are 7 Tachyon Lances on this team, to be fair. Against the Shield Shunt fleet.
That is a lot.
There's 7 Tachyon Lances against the Shield Shunt fleet.
So low-tech does have an interesting split of weapons that are physically very close to the edges, where EMP will do relatively a lot, and then a lot of weapon mounts that are buried physically inside the hull, and those will be quite difficult for even EMP to take out.
Okay. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, 1500 EMP will propagate a decent distance into the hull.
But it's going to be quartered, essentially, effectively. This is double EMP health and half EMP damage. Oh, let's see. Sea Synapse is low tech versus Pure Tilt's scalar tech. Two different kinds of tech. Let's go. Will the lashes dash out? Also, this is a low tech fleet without SO. This is a low tech fleet without SO. This is weird. Yeah, the lashes are, I think, are 120 speed right now.
So the big thing I worry about is that not having that flux capacity behind them is going to inherently make them want to engage less. So we may see them being just a little bit too much timid.
Let's see how this works out. Okay. It's the first caliber getting hit by 2 Tachyon lances there. Here come the fighter wings. Caliber taking damage. There's 4 Tachyon lances on the second caliber.
Yeah, so we're seeing the weapons on the edges of the hulls getting disabled.
Weapons at the front of the Vindicator gets disabled, so that's the Gungnir and the Squall.
A lot of weapons disabled.
Yeah. That range on the corsets is terrifying. The onslaught is not doing anything useful right now, which is unfortunate. The onslaught is just spraying flamer at fighters and not helping anything. Now it's finally facing a sky, but it's too far away to move most of its weapons. First Vindicator is down. I'm not entirely sure why the Vindicator thought it was necessary to hit a Gungnir into the back of the Legion, but that happened.
That's a lot of weapons disabled consistently.
Yep. They're coming back online fairly quickly, but it's still the damage that comes with it.
Fair point. Yep.
And yeah, they don't want to engage.
Oh, that's not okay. That was an onslaught backing off.
Yeah, they don't want to engage. Lasher goes down. Not a shame, because the Lasher went down. Second Vindicator goes down. First Mora. Anytime soon? Is Damper fielding what it can do?
No,
but
capacitors have a very interesting relationship with the AI behavior. They go based on percentage that is used, and also based on absolute value. So even if they're at 0 flux, just not having that capacitor pool behind them is going to make them a little bit more timid.
yeah, that onslaught has basically been a massive coward this entire fight. The onslaught has barely engaged. The onslaught's only using maximum range, and if it doesn't want to engage closely, its flamers aren't going to do anything. Okay, finally we have some movement on the onslaught. Possibly far too late. The Legion goes down. Just trying to do the thing over there. It needs to get closer. It needs to get closer.
It's trying to get closer now.
A little bit too late there, Onslaught, I'm afraid. Because I think you are the last ship alive. No, the Lash is still alive. Which might outlast you, because, you know, we need a target of currently 5 Tachyon Lances. Also PD suppressed and marked, and Onslaught goes down. We are down to a Lasher and a Mora. Even Damper fielding is not going to last Mora forever. Mora goes down. Lasher remains. and that's Lasher down. Shame win for Scalar Tech there. Because essentially of an incredibly cowardly onslaught.
Yeah, I think it was a couple of different things all combining. I think the capacitors would have made a difference. Disabled weapons mounts will absolutely make a difference. We were seeing a lot of weapon mounts go out very, very quickly. Even with all those bonuses, it was definitely getting pushed through.
They were coming back online fast enough, but I think just them being offline was messing with the AI as well.
Yep.
That was very unfortunate.
Very interesting.
And now we have the last one for today. Is Pixie Code's High Tech, which is, I think, unchanged. Pixie Code, you can double check that for me, but I think that's unchanged. At least in ship makeup, it's unchanged.
I think there were some small improvements.
Plasma cannons, burst PD lasers there. The Shades are running Reapers and Light Needlers. The Omens are running AI blasters. The Kronos are running triple phase lance and attacking.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And attacking. Okay, so that was an auto pulse laser before, and that was a heavy burst laser. So these are now triple phase lances and a tachyon lance, which is basically an even bigger phase lance. I mean, it kind of goes with it. Light phase lance, tachyon lance is how that line works. It was like how I like to think it works anyway. And they're all benefiting off advanced optics as well. Vortex running Falx and Wasp Wing. 2 Falx Wing, 2 Wasp Wings, 3 Shades running Reaper Needlers, and 3 Omens running AM Blasters and assorted PD. The couple of Kronoses and the Paragon itself. Paragon is no longer unstable injections, Scarabs removed for Shades, and Kronos new weapon vent cap loadout. Ooh, vent cap loadout. 2335.
That's pretty good. Yep.
That's actually more flex dissipation than the weapons generate, so. In theory, with shields down, it can fire forever.
So the high-tech fleet only has one anchor. It's a good anchor, but just that one anchor, the Paragon. Everything else is mobile. Everything else bends and maneuvers around the rest of the fleet.
The Kronos did good work last time, but I think the Paragon got... I don't know what happened with the Paragon last week. Paragon got wrecked, didn't it? I think.
It did okay. It could have gone better, but it did okay.
No, they won. Yes, they won. They definitely...
Those plasma cannons definitely put out a lot of heat.
Let's see. And now we have Idiopathic's midline. There was a slight issue when we first started the week, and we found a nebula in the lineup. And for a split second there, I thought Idiopathic had put an actual nebula into the lineup as a troll pick.
I'm a little bit disappointed now.
Yeah, I am as well. I saw a nebula, and I was like, "Is that an actual nebula? Has Idiopathic put an actual nebula into the lineup?" For those who aren't aware, whenever there's a variant issue, the Air Battles mod is designed to replace the ship with a nebula because no one's ever going to feel the nebula. So if there's a nebula in a fleet, you know there's a problem somewhere. But Idiopathic is someone who would absolutely put a nebula in there on purpose just to mess with me. But no, it wasn't. It was just...
The secret is nebulas are secretly very good.
No one's figured this out. Nebula stands as the backup ship, yeah. Now, so we have actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf, the one who knocks, and multi-track drifting for the 3 Conquests, who are running Aegis, Mjolnir, double flamers on one side, and the ion beam. Suspended missile racks, ITUs, obviously.
I don't like how much flamer we're seeing in the tournament.
You don't like how much flamer we're seeing in the tournament?
No, like they're good. I appreciate why they are there, but I don't want to be the person who has to go and have that conversation with DR. I don't think it's going to go well.
Ballistic rangefinder and flamers, an unexpected interaction. Yeah. Again, that's one of the things. That's also one of the things I like about tournaments is finding the weird thing. You know, it's finding the interesting thing that no one's found before. So the Griffins are back with Partisans, dual flat cannons, Squalls, and Hornets. It was this specific ship that was replaced by a different is a SO that doesn't
different.
have. It's a SO monitor that does not have the hardened subsystems. And then 3 Centurions running AM blasters, machine guns Reliant as well, and a Reaper class torpedo. And then
I do appreciate those Reapers. Every time they go out, it just cheers me up.
Those conquests better not be shot at, they might die to Swarm or SRM. And the Archer running, of course, the Hornet build. The Archer's just here as basically as a destroyer because they couldn't get another DP for another Griffin in, I imagine. It's fulfilling the same role.
I'm seeing no kinetic pressure on the Archers or the Griffins. It doesn't have anything to push things away.
No, not really. I mean, the kinetics have Squall, but that's literally it. The Griffins have kinetic Squalls, but that's literally it.
So that is a danger. If something does put pressure on them, they will fold. Admittedly, we have consistently seen fleets having trouble putting pressure on them.
It's also 8 Squalls in the fleet. 8 expanded missile Squalls in the fleet. So that's a lot of...
Yeah, okay, that is a lot.
That's a lot of Squalls. That's a lot of Squalls. But yeah, this is the last one. Oops. And then... Oh, we've done both. That is correct. So yeah, this is the last match of round 4. Mexico's High Tech versus Idiopathic Midline. Let's see how this happens.
Particularly with High Tech being so nimble, I really want to see if he put pressure on those support ships.
Will the Shades get around behind and start to pressure the Griffins, for example? Amok Sky? Right. So Centurions pushed ahead to 1. High Tech gets their first 2 points.
Very good capture times.
Monitor charges in to get the second point. Will it be pushed off? Probably not, because it's a Monitor. That's a... Jesus, that omen is a very dead omen. That is a very dead omen. Good heavens. Now, Kronos is kind of a bit ahead of here. And it's in the right side for all the weapons coming out of the Conquest in the right time. Griffin goes down. The pressure was done. However, the Kronos will go down for that. 1 Griffin exchanged for a Kronos. I think Midline comes out of that better. However, the Paragon has engaged a Conquest on its right side. The second Kronos is taking hull damage, however. Second Conquest has joined the fight against the Paragon, who is having to fortress up at the moment, so can't really... Oh, but that plasma cannon barrage is petrifying. If it gets the shots into the right side, it's forced that Conquest to turn face on because it cannot keep that face towards the Paragon anymore.
We're not seeing the high-tech frigates spread out.
Nope, they're kind of focused on defending the Paragon right now. And the Paragon's on high flux at the moment, and it's being focused essentially by 6 Squalls, and it has to take its shields down. It needs to have a moment to vent. Although it has put damage on 2 of the Conquests so far. 2 Conquests are now about a third or less hull from that plasma cannon pressure.
Vent on that Paragon any second now.
Yeah, if it vents, second Griffin goes down.
Successful.
Second Griffin goes down to the Kronos again. So each Kronos has taken down a Griffin and died died to accomplish that. Oh, will this one die? Vortex down, Kronos down. It still hasn't had a chance to vent.
It's got to vent.
It's focused. It's shooting plasma cannons at monitors. The Paragon didn't vent. That's got a pixel of health. That's got something. A shade get around that and kill it. Because now Paragon's taking hull damage. At this point, I would just vent and get it done with. If you're taking hull damage anyway, just vent. Because that thing is dead. It needs to be breathed on to die, and the Paragon doesn't get a moment to do that. It overloads, and that's a dead Paragon, I would imagine. Yep, that's a dead Paragon. The Flamers are in range. Paragon goes down. That is a conquest that needs to be breathed on to die. Paragon did not vent at all. All the high-tech ships, the SOs are running out now. Well, not SOs running out, it's more like their phase is making their capacity out. The fact that that conquest is still alive beggars belief, I think. Because that has got no hull left.
I mean, admittedly, you're looking at an absolute preponderance of firepower from that thing, but yeah, we're just not seeing pressure applied to it.
Well, like...
Not consistently.
Given the time, like, the Paragon took this one down to about a third health, and that one was down to literally not even a pixel in the bar. And the Griffins, the Kronos did go back and kill the Griffins relatively easily. But it wasn't enough. Now, all that's left is a singular shade over here who's dealing with a monitor and two Centurions. And I think that's it. I think that might be the last ship. Will you die to a monitor? Will you die to a monitor? Yes, you die to a monitor.
Yes.
You died to the flat cannon shot of a monitor. Monitor gets the final kill.
Surprising.
The only thing that died were the two Griffins, which we were talking about last week. That you weren't a huge fan of the builds of, and that they would, if pressured, they would die quite quickly. And that's what the Cronoses did. They just died. They just ran in there, and they died for the privilege because they used their speed up to get in and then put themselves very deep, killed their target with the.
I'm impressed they killed them. That is very good.
But then, because they used the speed up to get in, they couldn't get out again, and unfortunately got taken down. Now, when we were talking before we started, you mentioned that one of these fights in testing timed out. But which one was that? Just curiosity.
I'm not allowed to talk about testing too much.
Okay, fair enough.
Unfortunately.
No, fair enough. You have to tell.
I am very glad that all of these fights have gone relatively quick, if surprising.
Like I say, it's interesting because I like this. I'm not a fan of CR wins or timeout wins.
Yep.
So I'm very happy that every single fight we've gone to they've been engaging, they've been fast moving. I still want to see my fleet have another go right now. Well, technically, you don't get a chance. I mean, it won't count, but it's down to WikiFish.
I'm okay with it if you want to give him a shot.
That's not going to count. Let's be clear. I take bribes. I take bribes.
I think this round I'm probably going to have to watch a couple of times because we've seen quite a lot of unusual and unexpected AI behavior.
See, so what we're looking for,
quite a lot.
Should we watch this from Pure Tilt's perspective then? Because sometimes that messes around.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Beric. Let's see. Let's watch this from Pure Tilt's perspective and see if that changes anything. Because that's always been the thing. Whenever we've done best of threes and things of that nature, there's always this thing. Is there player one bias? Is there player two bias? Is the AI? It doesn't. But this has been a lot of confirmation bias over time about whether or not there's a play.
It's particularly difficult at this stage of the tournament because the fleets are so evolved and because a lot of the fleets have so much pressure, so everything is just balanced on that knife edge.
So this is again as an exhibition match, not counting for anything. Let's see what happens to the onslaught this time.
Yeah, right. So what did we see last time? We saw the onslaught get
the onslaught not engaged. This is the onslaught not engaged at all. That was what we saw last time.
Very timid to engage, backing off when it did engage.
Yeah, it got to the point where it high fluxed the sky and then started running away. Caliber comes in first this time rather than the lashes. Lashes are hanging back. If it runs off again, I swear. Let's see. Don't swear. Let's see. Onslaught, again, not charging forward. Caliber moving forward. They're being hit by 2 skies, which is, again, 2 tachyon lances. That Onslaught, is it going to move up? Is it going to... It's got a straight line forward. Just hit that F button. Press the F button. I mean, you have flamers. Get in there. Caliber goes down.
What's the flux on the Onslaught?
Nothing. Zero.
Yeah.
There's no flux in it at all.
So the AI decides whether to engage at all, and also if it thinks it's going to win or has an overwhelming advantage, usually in flux, it'll move itself even within its maximum weapon ranges. And I just don't think we're seeing it.
No. That Onslaught is not
Even
engaging.
zero flux, it's hanging back a lot.
Like, that Onslaught should have basically burn drived to deal with one of them at this point. And it's just not, it's choosing not to. It's an active choice, because it's got the... It's trying not to ram friendlies.
You see the engines idling,
There are no friendlies to ram right now. Like, there was a moment there where it had the 2 Moors in front of it, yes, but there's been more moments where it's had a free line to the side of a corset. It's happy to stay back in TPC, which means unfortunately it's missing out on the 4 flamers, the heavy machine guns. It hasn't even fired the sabos.
No, it's staying at max range.
Mora goes down. I mean, it's not falling back off the point.
I think it's been assigned to the point, so I'm not sure it can fall back at this stage.
This is, like, if it's a range battle, the corsets win.
So weapon mounts disabled.
If it's a ranged battle, the corsets win. Okay, they're finally within range of the front flamers anyway. It's high flux. Now we see it not running away, actually shooting forward. There you go. Look, all the EMP damage coming in there. Those flamers doing their job. That's what was supposed to happen the first time. Corset goes down. Which means at the moment, Pure Tilt and CSANEPs are exactly equal in DP remaining.
It feels much less like the Onslaught engaging and much more like everything else engaging on
Yeah, moving
the
on the Onslaught. The Onslaught still hasn't the Onslaught really hasn't moved.
There we go.
There you go, finally engaging on a winning fight. Like on a 1 fight, essentially. A surrounded Corset. Corset takes out the Lasher and will get flamed. Caliber and the Lasher die to that explosion. They can't shield out of it. So all that's left to think now is so what we have here. 2 skies, apparently a sky down, I wasn't paying attention. But you know, that's winning and it doesn't have capitals to worry about. It is now maybe possibly trying to engage.
Low Tech may still lose.
No, it's not a guaranteed win.
They may get outmaneuvered.
Bonk. It's using the hull to get closer.
That's a good
It's ramming it with its friend's hull. Wow, that's the BM right there. Just hitting it with the hull, just actually taking the hull of the Corset to it. See, this is what it's supposed to be doing, but it's only doing that because it knows it's won the fight. It's won the fight against the Tress, for example. It knows it's got no match. It's not engaging when there's any sort of doubt. You still have skies. The skies are still pretty much in one piece. The Onslaught is pretty much like max health as well, so... It's whether or not these 2 skies and the last remaining Tress can do anything to... No, sorry, the Onslaught's taking a lot of damage. It's not in one piece. It is very badly hurt. It was very badly hurt. That was my mistake. The skies can do it, and they can definitely outrange the thing, and they've got tachyon lances, so they can do the damage. They do need to deal with this, though. Because I think the squalls are scaring it off. And that was a really bad tachyon lance. What the hell happened there? There you go.
I mean, it's just the danger of putting lances and beams in general on very fast ships.
Yeah.
They'll get themselves on target for the start of the firing, but not necessarily for the end of it.
Yeah, but that previous shot, it felt like it was trying to use it like a cast beam, just like start one side and just draw it across the hull.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I think that's the Vindicator down. So it's, I think at the moment we're dealing with just the Onslaught left remaining. I think the Onslaught will probably kill that Tress. I think because it's dashing in. It's a dead Tress. So it's down to whether two Skies can kill the remaining Onslaught. Let's speed this up a bit. Let them get into range of each other. Okay. Oof, just outside range there.
There's the flank.
The flank, and also the fact that it's got, I'm assuming, no frontal armor. Timeout happens. Will it kill? Because it can't. It's gonna. Oh, I think the Skies have it. But it wasn't. It was a much closer fight this time around. Because I think, as chat mentioned, the Corsets came. I keep wanting to say Corsairs. The Corsets came to the Onslaught. Better distribution of enemies, and the basically the mountain came to Mahabharata kind of situation. The Onslaught was just on the point, and the Corsets came to try to shift it, bring them into range of the Flamers.
I'd want to take a much closer look at the very start of the fight, particularly those initial engagements where something dives out and gets blatted out of the sky immediately by the entire fleet. Because again, when you're talking about AI behavior, as soon as they've got less total deployment points of assets on the field, that will cause them to drop down a personality notch. There's a lot of different factors there that can really come into it.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's this week's done. What have we got here? Let's have a quick again. Let's have a recap of the day. We start off with Pixie Code versus Pyrophage, the Magellan, the White Magellan versus Tall Yards, which went again. Magellan have been doing very, very well. The Mimmir's got some shots off, but Magellan's been doing very, very well. Then we had the LOA getting their ideal fleet disposition.
The perfect battle line.
The perfect battle line that they wanted to have against the II fleet. They got exactly what they wanted. They got the exact lineup they wanted. It was actually really nice to see LOA doing what the fleet wants to do, which is straight line there and just pummel at long range. Thank you, Nemo. Made me feel better to have my face bashed in. Yeah, like, LOA had a battle line and was allowed to keep it, because they try to make a battle line every single time, but it's about whether the flanking things let them keep it. And I think things that could have stopped the line were maybe the Karamas, but they got wiped out very early on. Because the Karamas have the speed to get around the behind and maybe do the distractions, because that's what happened when LOA fought Magellan. The Jaegers got behind and didn't actually do much, but it was enough to take the attention of the fleets away from the battle line, which let them get properly surrounded.
Side flank, get the rear flank.
Yeah.
Honestly, even that first round battle, just push into their line with enough pressure to break their line. And we did see some good pushes into their line, but not enough momentum, not enough force to be able to break their line. Push into their line, a little bit of pressure, and then back out.
And as M. Shady is saying that if the Mimirs hadn't mimired, because they charging in forwards and then they didn't get surrounded, they surrounded themselves. They pushed themselves in positions where they got surrounded and got taken out very quickly.
Yep.
Like what? Yeah, when I said again, complaining what a player does with the air is weird, but I think because you can go in any direction, I tend to use those things to get out of trouble. Like you push forward on regular end drives, and if you get in too deep, then you do your lock drive back and get out of danger. Whereas the Mimirs were like moving forward, and then when they get in there quite quickly, they are capitals that have mobility issues. So they just got wiped out by essentially what was a lot of small ships. Grafs, Deckers, Jans, Albrahads, Jaegers. On all sides. After this fight, we had Low Tech versus Skillertech, which again you just saw a rematch for, which was a lot closer rematch. Again, but the problem was in the very first fight, of course, the Onslaught just did not engage at all, and arguably it didn't really engage in the second fight until after it killed both the corsets. Then it started being aggressive, and the last fight was Pixie Code and Idiopathic, the High Tech versus Midline, in which I think there was pressure in the places where we wanted pressure to be. It kind of died off a bit.
Demonstrably, yep.
Yeah, the Kronos did the good thing. Unfortunately, they were wiped out. Possibly a numbers issue. The Paragon almost took down two conquests by itself. It's just, again, interesting would have happened if the Paragon had managed to kill one of the corsets and basically corsets. Now I'm saying the wrong one now. The conquests by itself. It would have halved the damage it was taking from conquests, and probably would have had an even easier time killing the second one, and then that would have changed it immediately, kind of situation.
It's another one where I really want to watch the replay in quite a lot of detail, particularly the frigate behavior, and see where their positioning was. They had some very unusual positioning. I expected them to really wrap around the flanks quite a lot, or even the phase ones, just to go straight through the enemy lines. But no, they were playing. It felt quite defensive.
Yeah, I was hoping to see the shades go behind, and
I don't think they did.
They didn't. No, they didn't. I mean, the Griffins died. I mean, the Centurions didn't die. They've got damper fields. It's a little bit tricky. They're not as bad to kill as monitors, but they are annoyingly persistent. The Archer didn't die as well, which is the other concern.
Yep. Chat and Sago is raising a very, very interesting point. The Admiral AI will potentially dynamically issue escort orders. So it's possible the frigates were issued as escorts for the larger capital ships.
Yeah. They particularly didn't want to leave the Paragon unsupported. But it's one of those things, like, if doing that, like, the Omens maybe support and then the Shades go forward and do some attack or something, other than Shades happening out the back. Doesn't matter either way. If HT doesn't have a Paragon, there's not enough power to kill victories.
It gets very, very interesting. So the Admiral AI, when left to its own devices, will dynamically issue orders. And when you've got a dynamic escort order, it'll actually swap the ships in and out. And so if a ship goes high on flux, it'll get pulled out of rotation and something else will need to take its place. And so all of those frigates being constantly under pressure will cause them to constantly being out of rotation. And so there's almost like a black hole of, oh, there's a frigate and it has no flux. Great, you're on escort duty.
Yeah.
No one else can do it.
The pressures on the frigates have kept them rotating out of escort duty and messing around with that. Yeah, interesting. I have learning a lot about the AI because of this tournament, which is very, very nice. Anyway, that's the tournament done for this week. We're back round 5 next week. This is the halfway point, wasn't it? This is the halfway point of the 7 rounds of the round robin. This is the halfway point. Not sure how things have gone, but interesting.
I still feel like the meta is developing. We're still seeing very significant changes in the fleets, very significant evolution.
Guys, I'm very happy to see how this is going. The high-tech theme music is Robo's theme from Chrono Trigger. But it was just crazy. Yeah, I'm loving to watch the evolution week to week.
Thank you very much for streaming. This has been quite enjoyable.
Yeah, no, very much enjoyed the tournament. Well, this will be back next week. I'm going to carry on streaming after this point. I'm going to technically go to stream ending, but I'm not actually ending the stream because I'm going to carry on streaming after this. But a huge thank you to you, Wikifish, and to all the mod makers and mod designers and fleet designers for this tournament. And it'll be back next week. If you are not hanging around at this point and you are interested in these things, I'm back tomorrow and Saturday with more Pathfinder, the CRPG. And then I think Monday I'm doing more multiplayer stuff with Beric, and then Wednesday I think is going to be as per usual. And next Thursday, same time, again, will be round 5 of the tournament. If you are confused about what time zone that's going to be in, it'll be on my Discord in a time zone thing that is changes to suit your time zone. It'll show you in your time zone what time the tournament's going to be on Thursday. Yeah.
Very useful.
Yeah, cool. So I'm going to quickly just get a drink and stuff, then I'll be back. I might do a quick like turn off and on the stream just so that it refreshes everything. But I will be back in a real bit, and catch you all soon.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries.